So in the event that your air conditioning is not operational, there's a few things that you can check before you call a service tech, and one little tip that I can share with you that might get it going for the short term even though you want to call a service tech. So first part of the video is your thermostat. You want to make sure that your thermostat is set to cool. If it's on heat or if it's just simply off, it is not going to air condition your home. So the first obvious thing to check is cool. Also, if the display is blank, that's a good clue that maybe there's no power to the furnace. So start with your thermostat. So the second part to troubleshooting your air conditioning before you call a service tech is check your furnace. The furnace in particular doesn't have any knobs, buttons, or settings on it, but if your furnace filter is really dirty, it can impede the airflow to the point where the unit can ultimately freeze. And one of the first clues is you'll see some sweating or ice on this insulated pipe right here, maybe at the plywood near the floor or at the top. So inspect the furnace very quickly. If the unit is still moving air, check those units. If it's not moving air, if the unit is dead and there's no ice, the next thing you want to check would be your breaker panel. The breaker panel has a breaker inside of it for the air conditioning. Should be labeled. This is very typical of a breaker panel, and they don't always come in this particular configuration, but every breaker should be labeled, and you can see the numbers on the sticker correlate with the numbers that are stamped on the electrical panel. So check your air conditioner breaker and make sure it's not tripped. So the air conditioning unit itself probably be the last place that you want to come out to check after you've checked the thermostat, you've checked the filter in your furnace, and you've checked the breaker in the breaker panel in the garage. The air conditioning unit itself has a service disconnect box just above it. It's possible that the breaker has been left in the off position. These typically come in two configurations. One just simply has a breaker inside of it that would be similar to what's in your electrical panel, or we've got these service disconnect boxes also that have a plug. The plug is got an off position, which the easiest way for me to tell is it's nice and loose in there. And then it's also got an on position, which you would flip it over and plug it back into the on position, and then you know you've got power to the unit. I did mention there was a third potential way to check your air conditioning, or maybe even get it going again for the short term. That would be to flip the breaker for the furnace off and then flip it back on. Give it 4 or 5 seconds and flip the breaker back on. It's your furnace a little bit like a computer. At that point, with the power off and then back on, it reboots, and you can potentially get the unit going for the short term, but you need to recognize that there is an issue and you do want to call a service tech to get it taken care of. But you'll see once I plug this into the on position with the service disconnected, the unit will just simply come on. Thank you.